of joining is not
अरे
been there
भाई,
because it has not been the
you
issue in this petition.
should have been prepared. आपकी मैडम ने 2 बार टाइम लिया सिनॉप्सिस बनाने के लिए.
I have quoted one Supreme Court judgment, Your Lordship, in the
We'll do that
synopsis.
later on.
Yes.
Judgment
So-
comes later on.
Of
First
course.
facts.
Okay, I will explain, sir.
Don't try to behave like a lawyer.
Your Lordship, in this matter, I will request to proceed in this matter, first of all, in respect of the maintainability of the intent petition losses. So I may be allowed to first open up the argument.
Kindly appreciate order sheet dated 12/1.
12/1,
12/1.
24.
Yes.
ये आर्मी एक्ट दीजिएगा. आर्मी एक्ट 1950 है.
It is. Babu Sahib, it is.
सेंट्रल एक्ट इधर रखा होगा. जी, अभी ये मेंटेनेबिलिटी पे कहना चाहते हैं, तो सुन लेते हैं, फिर आपको सुनेंगे.
Yes, Lord. जी. And also, first of all, may kindly appreciate the original application which has been filed before the Honorable Tribunal. It has been at page 19, Your Lordship.
अनेक्शर बताइए, पेज से कुछ नहीं होगा.
Your Lordship, it is there.
या तो कंप्यूटर से बहस करिए, कंप्यूटर के पेज नंबर बताते जाइए.
Your Lordship,
आप लोग क्या टेक्नोलॉजी से इतने ज्यादा डाइवोर्स्ड हैं?
but
अरे ऐसा ही लगता है. इतने महीने होगा आप आज तक टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज नहीं सीख पाए.
I will try, Lord.
क्या इसके लिए भी आर्मी लगेगी क्या, टेक्नोलॉजी सिखाने
नहीं,
के
उसके
लिए?
लिए जरूरत नहीं है.
हैं?
आर्मी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, सर. Your Lordship, may kindly come to page 19, that is annexure R1, Your Lordship.
R1.
Yes, it has been filed with my reply, wherein the
Preliminary objection.
Yes, preliminary objection has been taken also.
R1. जी.
So just may kindly appreciate the first clause A relief which has been sought therein.
जी.
To direct the respondent number 4 and 5 to issue the movement order to the applicant to report to his unit in the interest of justice.
जी.
Here in this petition, he has been challenging the attachment order. So the relief which has been sought before the tribunal, it is a consequential order. So the first,
नहीं, please just let us understand first.
yes,
ठीक है.
he is seeking the movement order
हाँ.
because he has already been attached because of the departmental proceeding has been initiated against
He has been
him.
attached to you, RTU.
Yes,
Where is? तो आप ब्रीफ करिए, आप पीछे से खड़े होकर मत बताइए.
Yes.
Your counsel should be properly briefed. If your counsel is not properly briefed, then I'll not hear you.
RTO will also be returned
काउंसिल
to
को पहले ब्रीफ करते नहीं करते हैं. कहाँ अटैचमेंट हुआ है इनका?
In Jabal.
Jabalpur
आप-
itself.
आपसे नहीं पूछ रहे मैडम, वकील साहब को बताइए, नहीं तो you remove him, you argue, I'll permit you to argue, and I'll say that आपका शुभ नाम लिख के that you have discharged your counsel, you will argue the matter. I'll permit you to argue this matter. There is no problem. Officer in charge can always argue a matter, but your counsel should be properly briefed. यहाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि उठ के आए और फाइल यहीं खोली और यहीं शुरू हो गए. Then I'll have to observe certain things about the conduct, because that amounts to wastage of the court's time. Where is that order?
attachment order also.
I don't know. You're
Yes.
referring to clause A
It
of
is-
the relief sought.
It is there at page 15 in the original writ petition also.
Annexure
P1,
P1.
page 15.
You are Mr. Mukesh Shrivastava.
Yes, Lord.
हाँ.
The forwarding officer are hereby attached to the units mentioned against each for further disciplinary proceedings under the provision of Army Instructions 30/86, with immediate effect till finalization of the discharge case, disciplinary case pending against them.
जी 107 GL sector type B 12 Corps Southern Command to GRC headquarters Madhya Bharat area. जी
So he has been attached at Jabalpur itself,
एक second.
in MB area JSC also.
P1
Now what is my respective submission?
just a minute.
Yes.
Annexure P1 dated 6th April 2023. Petitioner attached to GRC / HQ Madhya Bharat area. जी. Then now come to your this thing.
Now I'll also
Page
kindly
90.
appreciate the relief which has been sought before the tribunal.
Yes.
What he has been seeking in clause 8 relief
Ji.
to direct the respondent number 4 to 5 to issue movement order to the applicant to report to his unit in the interest of justice.
Ji.
So what he's been seeking that he should send back to the unit wherefrom he has been attached to at Jabalpur itself.
जी. This petition was filed on which date?
Is in OA lordship.
जी.
Original application which has been filed before the
नहीं, ठीक है.
AFT.
This is dated 9/9/23.
Yes, lordship. 99.
Way is 9/9/23.
Yes.
Now,
Now I'll also
where-
kindly appreciate.
just a minute. Just a minute. Where is the reference to the order dated this 6th April 23? When did he join in pursuance to the order dated 6th April to 23? That is annexure P1.
Lordship, he joined.
विक्रम जी आपकी तैयारी आजकल क्या है? पढ़ नहीं पाते क्या?
नहीं,
टाइम
नहीं,
नहीं मिलता?
it's not that,
ज्यादा
Lordship.
केस हो गए हैं.
No, it's not that.
तो फिर
Lordship.
पढ़ते क्यों नहीं है आप?
It's not that lordship because that date of joining is not
अरे
been
भाई,
there because it has not been the
You
issue
should
in
you
this
should have
petition.
you should have been prepared. आपकी मैडम ने 2 बार टाइम लिया सिनॉप्सिस बनाने के लिए.
Joining कब के? 6/4/2023 lordship.
6/4 को तो he was directed to be attached.
Yes.
Then he joined on the same date.
Within a week's time, he moved.
When did he moved? I'm asking you the date when he moved.
The lordship, according to the rules, the moment we get a movement order, we have certain days to join from the said location, get the,
He joined. He obeyed this order.
he came here, yes.
Now you reply my queries. Your lawyer is not prepared. You answer it. Then this attachment annexure P1 was for a particular purpose. Attached to units mentioned against each for further disciplinary proceedings under the provisions of Army Instructions 30/1986 with immediate effect till finalization of disciplinary case. When was the disciplinary case finalized?
Your lordship, if I may submit a few things before you to appreciate the sequence of
जी
event
जी
properly.
बताइए.
Your
आप
lordship,
बैठिए विक्रम साहब आप बैठिए.
Yes, yes.
जी बैठ जाइए.
your lordship, in army, when some disciplinary proceedings are ordered, that is done after a fact-finding investigation into the subject.
Right.
So whenever we get the knowledge that something has happened which may amount to an offense, we ordered something called a court of inquiry, which is akin to a police investigation roughly, and it is a fact-finding body. After that investigation completes, that goes to the convening authority who gives a direction on after examining whether prima facie something has emerged during that investigation.
Right.
So in this particular case, I mean, I'll get to the particular case later. I'll just explain the sequence of event. So once that direction comes, it will say that so-and-so has been found blameworthy for this prima facie, and accordingly you disciplinary proceeding be initiated against him.
Right.
Now, once that happens, that disciplinary proceeding comes in various stages, Your Lordship.
Right.
So it starts with something called a hearing of charge, which is Army Rule 22, Your Lordship.
Army Rule 22.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Just a minute.
So, Your Lordship, Army Rule 22, it is at this stage, we have we have taken note of the court of inquiry and we've given them certain preliminary, this is a pre-trial stage basically. So the commanding officer sees the whatever prima facie evidence has come in the court of inquiry, and then if it is a case worthy of being tried by court martial at a later stage, then it is mandatory for the commanding officer to order reduction of the summary of evidence, which is the following rule, Your Lordship, Army Rule 23.
जी.
Now, Army Rule 23, when the summary of evidence is recorded in writing, then that summary of evidence is processed to the convening authority, who will examine that evidence and then come to the conclusion whether or not a case has to be tried by a court martial or not.
Right.
So I'll just read out, Your Lordship,
Yes.
Army Rule 23, if you may please see. Your Lordship, it says procedure for taking down summary of evidence, that where the case is adjourned for the purpose of having the evidence reduced to writing.
Waiting लिखा हुआ है.
Sir, वो typographical error
पर
probably.
भी कोर्ट मार्शल चलता है क्या? चलिए.
In writing, the adjourned hearing of evidence of the witness who were present and gave evidence before the commanding officer, whether against or for the accused or any other persons whose evidence appears to be relevant, will be taken down in writing. Then, Your Lordship, if you could just come to, so it just lays down the procedure that we'll give a caution to the accused and so on and so forth. When this summary of evidence completes, then the following rules talks about remand of the accused for trial.
जी.
So what I'm trying to apprise to the court here today is that this stage has not even been reached. The particular petitioner
So is there any time limit to?
Yes, Your
to
Lordship, that is what, sir, Your Lordship, if I can walk you to Army Act Section 122.
Yes.
122 Army Act, that's on page 33 of the Bear Act. It says that except as provided by subsection 2, no trial by court martial of any person subject to this act for any offense shall be commenced after an expiration of period of 3 years. So what I'm trying to explain here is that from the starting date, that is once the direction of the convening authority has.
No,
Yes.
sorry. 122 says that the day on which an act of delinquency was committed, then the limitation will start from that date of commission of the delinquency, and then there are certain circumstances given, that is A, on the date of the offense,
Yes, Your
or
Lordship.
where the commission of the offense was brought to the knowledge of the authority on a particular date, then that will be the starting date.
Yes, Your
Now
Lordship.
you are required to point out
Yes,
as
Your
to
Lordship.
on which date his act of delinquency was brought to your notice.
Yes, Your Lordship. That's what I'm trying to explain, Your Lordship. In Army Rule 120, Army Act 122, in provision 1B, it talks about two situations. The first part of it is, my argument is that we are not affected by the first part of the clause B, which basically says where the commission of the offense was not known to the person aggrieved by the offense. What we are saying is that when, see, I have quoted one Supreme Court judgment, Your Lordship, in the
We'll come to that
synopsis.
later on.
Yes.
Judgment
So-
comes later on. First,
Of course.
facts.
Okay, I will explain, sir.
Don't try to behave like a lawyer.
no,
कि
sir.
judgment bombard कर दिया, facts का कोई पता ही नहीं है.
No, sir. I'll tell you the facts, sir.
जी.
So when the surprise check was done, then we did a
When
court
was
of
it done? When was it done?
Your Lordship,
Date.
in the synopsis, if you may please see.
Where is the synopsis?
Your Lordship, I've filed the synopsis further to the directions of the court.
जी.
Your Lordship, the surprise check was done.
Synopsis निकाल के दीजिएगा इसमें से, फाइल में से. Synopsis निकाल के दीजिए. फाइल किया है इन्होंने? नहीं किया. देख लीजिए आराम से. यही है सिनॉप्सिस. इसको खोल लीजिए, फाइल खोलिए, उसको टैग से निकालिए, दीजिए इसको. और इससे निकाल लीजिए ना. Yes.
Your Lordship, the surprise check was done on 29/01/2020.
29/1.
01/2020.
Surprise check.
Yes, where we found that there was something amiss, based on which,
एक second.
yes.
Check was made. So that is the date of knowledge as per.
No, Your Lordship, I'll explain that, Your Lordship, I'll explain that, Your Lordship. So we figured that something is amiss, however, we neither know who all, if, how many people will be involved in that.
Ji.
Accordingly, Your Lordship, we started the investigation on 21/08/2020.
Ji. 0. When did you start the investigation?
The court of inquiry commenced on 21/08, serial number 4 of the synopsis, Your Lordship.
2020.
2020.
Court of inquiry initiated.
Yes, Your Lordship. That investigation got completed.
Ji.
That got completed, Your Lordship, on 8/2/2023. Whereby, this is a serial number 5 of the synopsis, Your Lordship.
Ji.
Whereby the whole of court of inquiry proceedings were examined and the GOC, who Madhya Bharat area, he gave his direction against a total of 9 individuals. That various different lapses have emerged against total 9 individuals. So, Your Lordship, what I am trying to get at is that after this court of inquiry happens, now in reference of all these 9 people, separate proceedings will be initiated. And that is why summary of evidence was ordered. First the traditional.
Just a minute. Wait for a minute.
Your Lordship.
Yes.
So, Your Lordship, once the directions come of the GOC, that is 8 February 2023.
The period of limitation will start from that.
Yes, Your Lordship, that is what I'm trying to explain on 122(1)(b). That is when the authority competent to initiate action came to the knowledge of the offence.
Right.
So, Your Lordship,
Where are the proceedings of the court of inquiry which were initiated on 21/8/2020?
Your Lordship, whereas Your Lordship, they have been examined
No,
in
no,
the
no.
in the.
You say that court of inquiry, this surprise check was made on 29/1/2020.
Yes.
Court of inquiry was started on 21/8/2020.
Yes, Your Lordship.
There is lapse of about 7 months time.
Your Lordship,
Just a minute,
yes.
please. Then you say that for the first time on 8/2/23, court of investigation on completion came to know that who are the delinquent persons, right?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Now, what is the documentary evidence in support of this? That the date of discovery of the delinquent officer is 28/2023 and not 21/8/20. Where is the initiate? Where is the document which initiated the inquiry? Because that will
Yes.
prove one thing, that the inquiry was against certain unknown persons and that culminated into knowledge in terms of section 122 clause C. Because clause C says where it is not known by whom the offence was committed.
Yes.
The first day on which the identity of the offender is known. Now that is the crux of the matter. So we'll have to see that which is the date on which the identity of the offender came to your knowledge.
Your Lordship, if I may submit one thing. Your Lordship, if we are.
There is a direct question. Please give me.
I will.
Please.
Sir,
Give me.
Your Lordship, there is a direction on the issue.
Please show me please show me the order dated 21/8/2020, whereby the court of inquiry started investigation. It started investigation against unknown persons or against certain known persons. That will be the starting point.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Complete the requirements of section 122(1)(c).
Your Lordship, I just have one submission. Your Lordship, we have not dwelt in details of the facts for one reason.
No, sorry.
One reason.
No.
I will present it if the Honorable Court
I'm
orders.
asking you, you'll have to present it.
Of course, Your Lordship.
Where is
I
it?
will.
Where is
Sir,
it?
right now I don't have the.
Bring it. Then
Yes,
don't
Your
waste time. Bring it.
Yes, Your Lordship,
Bring
I
it.
will.
लिखिएगा. Shri. Rakesh Singh, learned counsel for the petitioner, along with the petitioner, Lieutenant Colonel Mukesh Srivastava. Next. Miss Mohitama, Major
Major.
Major Miss Mohitma, present on behalf of the Union of India. Next, as the level of assistance was not up to the mark from the Council for the Union of India, Major Mohitma was permitted to argue this matter. Next para. After raising a preliminary objection as to the maintainability of the present petition, and the Learned Council for the Union of India taking this court through the OA which was filed by the petitioner before the Armed Force Tribunal Regional Bench at Jabalpur, and drawing attention of this court to the prayer contained therein, namely, within inverted commas, small a bracket close, to direct the respondent number 4 and 5 to issue movement order to the applicant to report to his unit within bracket RTU bracket close in the interest of justice, full stop, inverted commas close. It is submitted that the petition is not maintainable. Next para. From this stage, Major Mohitma has taken over to explain that as per Annexure P1 dated 6th April 2023, there was an order of attachment issued by Deputy Director oblique DV-2 for Adjutant ADJUTANT, Adjutant General, asking attachment of the petitioner along with others from petitioner along with others, whereby petitioner was attached from his present unit 107 GL SEC, S capital EC छोटा, type का T बड़ा, within inverted single inverted commas B oblique 12 Corps oblique Southern Command to GRC oblique HQ MB area, full stop. It is next para. It is an admitted fact that within the prescribed period, petitioner had reported for joining at GRC oblique HQ MB area, full stop. That is not in dispute. Next. Now the issue which is being raised is taking this court through Rule 22 and 23 of the Army Rules 1954. It is being emphasized that the court of inquiry is initiated in parts. First part is as given in chapter 5, dealing with investigation of charges.
No, Your Lordship,
and
if I may
trial by-
clarify.
Please just a minute. Investigation of charges and trial by court martial. Full stop. It is submitted that Rule 22 deals with hearing of charge, and it is something like preliminary investigation in a criminal case. Thereafter, stage of Rule 23, which deals with procedure for taking down the summary of evidence, is resorted to, and thereafter, if the commanding officer is of the opinion that the accused is to be committed to the court martial, then matter is committed to the court martial. Next para. Reading from section 122 of the Army Act 1950, it is submitted that on 29/1/2020, surprise check was made, full stop. At that point of time, the disciplinary authority was not having knowledge as to who are the delinquents, full stop. Thereafter, on 21/8/2020, Court of Inquiry started investigation in terms of Rule 22. नहीं है Rule 22.
180, Your Lordship.
अच्छा ठीक है. In terms of Rule 180,
Rule 22 stage comes once the court of inquiry is
ठीक-
completed, Your Lordship.
Under Rule 180, which deals with procedure when character of a person subject to the act is involved. Thereafter, investigation was completed on 8/2/23, and therefore it is submitted that for the first time identity of the delinquents was discovered on 8/2/23. Therefore, the period of limitation as given in section 122 will commence in terms of commence from 8/2/23, and therefore the case is liable to be dismissed. Next para. The issue is herein is that section 122 of the Army Act, 1950 reads as under within inverted commas 122 dot period of limitation for trial dot dash within bracket 1 bracket close except as provided by subsection within bracket 2 bracket close comma no trial by court martial of any person subject to this act for any offence shall be committed after the expiration of a period of 3 years and such period shall commence comma dash ये लिख लीजिएगा ए बी सी तीनों लिख लीजिएगा इसका पेज 33 है नेक्स्ट पैरा thus it is necessary to point out that when court of inquiry started whether it was started against unknown persons हाँ बोलिए
There is one suppression, my lord.
बोलिए,
The
हाँ हाँ
fact. Actually, after
नहीं, इनका लिख लें उसके बाद में आपका लिखते हैं ना लिखते हैं क्या लिखा on 21/8/2020 then whether it was against some set of known persons or it was started against unknown persons full stop for that the order initiating the court of inquiry on 21/8/2020 is necessary which has not been brought on record by Miss Major Mohatma. Next, आप बोलिए अब.
My lord, I have also filed a synopsis where I have brought that suppression has been done.
हाँ बताइए.
After surprise check on 29 January 2020,
जी.
from 2nd March, my lord, a court of inquiry has been initiated by Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma,
2nd March.
presiding officer, 2nd March 2020.
2nd March 2020. Pankaj Sharma.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
That was culminated on 14th August 2020.
14th August 2020.
And the same was forwarded to the office of headquarter 1 STC.
And was forwarded to the headquarter 1
STC.
STC. S for Shimla.
Signal Training Center.
अच्छा STC. Yes.
White number TTR letter number
ये
109.
आपका इलेक्शन होगा ना?
My lord, IA number मैंने पेश किया है सर.
कौन सा है ये?
IA number is 177850 I think. My lord, there is
नहीं 17778 है.
1778.
हाँ. देखते हैं.
Column number, my lord, page 5 onwards it starts.
देखते हैं.
Your Lordship, if I may just bring something to your notice.
Facts आ रहे कोई.
Of course.
I'm not deciding the case.
No, because he mentioned that I have suppressed this fact. That is why I just want to point out one thing.
You are not supposed to react to everything.
Of course.
Page 5 onwards, my lord, that I have mentioned a chart, my lord. Third, it deals with the surprising check. And fourth,
On 20 October took over as quartermaster from Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma.
yes.
But to be noted that primary appointment was of officer commanding training company. Petitioner had not attended quartermaster course also. ठीक है. 19 took over additional 6 appointments. Relieved other officers of their appointment for leave. February 20. We are concerned with March 2020.
March 20 to August 20.
In March 20. On itna, the unit colonel for discrepancies in clothing store 1 TTR was convened on 2nd March and Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma was detailed as the presiding officer of the same. Himself was terminating the appointment of QM for me and now investigating the discrepancy himself. The colonel done by Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma was forwarded to HQ itna by TTR itna. At this time, Commandant 1 STC, the convening authority, was aware of the offence. Colonel A.K. Sharma's statement in
This was
Colonel
the unit level code of
COI Commandant 1 STC, page itna itna. Another C of I was convened and by Commandant 1 itna itna. ठीक है, तो your contention is that on at least on 14th August 2020
they have forwarded.
they knew that who are the delinquents.
Yes,
बस इतना ही है ना अभी,
yes.
ठीक है, let them clarify.
Sir.
आ जाइए, बस इतना लिख लेते. क्या लिखा? वो तो हो गया. Next para. Shri Rakesh Singh submits that he has also enclosed a summary wide IA 177 synopsis wide IA 1778 बटे 2024. On page 5 of this synopsis, he has shown that on 2nd March 2020, Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma, from whom he had taken charge, started inquiry for the discrepancies in clothing store 1 TTR, and Pankaj Sharma was detailed as the presiding officer of the same. Full stop. On 14th August 2020, CUI क्या होता है?
Court of inquiry.
Court of inquiry done by Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma was forwarded to HQ1 STC wide 1 TTR letter number. ये कौन है भाई? बाहर बात कर लीजिए बैठ के. बाहर चेयर्स है नहीं है? कॉरिडोर में चेयर्स है नहीं है? बाहर कॉरिडोर में चेयर्स है नहीं है? बाहर बैठ के बात करिए प्लीज. क्या लिखा? 1095/01/COI dated 14th August 2020, and at this time Commandant 1 STC, the convening authority, was aware of the offence and also the offenders. आप लोगों के बारे में नाम आ गए थे ना कि किस किसने गलती की है.
Your Lordship, at the level of
आपको
court of inquiry.
आपको दे रहे हैं, मौका देंगे आपको. कोई अभी कंक्लूड थोड़ा ना करना.
Yes, sir.
दिस इज देयर कंटेंशन.
Yes, Your
दिस
Lordship.
कोर्ट में तो आपका कोर्ट मार्शल चलेगा नहीं.
Yes, Your Lordship.
उनको भी कहने का मौका देंगे
Of
हम,
course.
और जो कहेंगे उसको आप रिबट करिएगा.
Yes, Your Lordship.
ठीक है. आई रिक्वायर कंप्लीट ट्रांसपेरेंसी इन द मैटर.
Yes, Your Lordship.
क्या लिखा? were known to the Commandant 1 STC, who was conducting preliminary inquiry at the behest of the superiors. Next para. In view of such facts, let copy of the order dated 2nd March 2020, by which
23.
Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Sharma started inquiry, and the inquiry report which was submitted by him on 14th August 2020, besides the communication dated 21/8/2020 and the complete file in which the matter was dealt, resulting in the findings of the court of inquiry, which was slated to be completed on, which is stated to be completed on 8/2/2023, be brought on record, to bring complete and correct facts on record, so to point out as to what will be the starting date for limitation in terms of provisions contained in section 122 within bracket 1 another bracket small c of the Army Act 1950. कब ले आएंगी आप ये
Your
कागज?
Lordship, can I seek one permission? Your Lordship, the 20th March 23 order, February 23 order, the directions of